السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. وعن عبد الله بن عمرو بن العاص رضي الله عنهما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So Abdullah ibn Umar, he says that the Messenger of Allah said, and Abdullah ibn Umar, it's important for you to know who he is. So he's the son of Amr ibn al-As, but he was among the Ubbad and the Zuhad among the Sahaba. He was a very righteous Sahabi who used to pray a lot, he used to fast a lot. He's one of those people dedicated to a lot of worship. So he said, the Messenger of Allah said, Ya Abdullah, la takun mithla fulan. He said, Oh Abdullah, don't be like this guy. Don't be like this random person who was pointing out. كَانَ يَقُومُ اللَّيْلِ فَتَرَكَ قِيَامَ اللَّيْلِ. He used to perform qiyam al-layl, the tahajjud prayer, and then he stopped doing it. مُتَّفَقٌ عَلَيْهِ. This is in Bukhari and Muslim. So similar to what we've been saying, a few things we learned from this. Number one, the Messenger of Allah used to encourage people, different people in different ways, depending on their capacity. There was a time where Abdullah ibn Umar came to him, and he wanted to fast a lot. The Messenger of Allah told him, tone it down. Don't overdo it. You're a very zealous young person. It's going to be too much for you. In this case, though, he's talking about the importance of consistency in actions. Even when it comes to something like Qiyam al-Layl, which is praying at night is one of the very high, virtuous things to be doing, like we talked about yesterday. The importance of right after you got your witr down, it should be the next prayer that you add into your routine. But then he's talking about consistency. The wrong way to take this hadith is that if I can't pray Qiyam al-Layl every single day, then what's the point? I'm never going to even do it. There's no point. That's not what this hadith is saying. What this hadith is saying, and what the advice that the Messenger of Allah is giving to Abdullah, because he knows who he is, he's saying when you do something, be consistent in it. And we've seen this in other statements. The Messenger of Allah said the most beloved actions to Allah are the ones which are done consistently. So he's giving you advice, and he's saying, you know what, there was this one other person, he started doing Qiyam al-Layl, and he was keeping it up, and then he just fell off. And this is the problem with a lot of people today, is they start something, and they don't think very carefully what their capacity is, and then they start it, and then they fall off. And when they fall off, you know what happens? So many things happen. Number one, there's a psychological problem as well. The psychological problem is the downward spiral. I tried to do it, I did my best, I wasn't able to keep it up. What's the point? I can't do things like this. I'm never going to try something like this again. It's a whisper that comes to your mind. You have to be very careful. And number two is that you should always think about, hey, what can I do? Always start small and build up and try to be consistent. And one of the very famous books in the self-help category, one of the popular books nowadays, it's called Atomic Habits. And it's like a bestseller or something like that. And it's one of those things that talks about if you have these small little habits, just like the Messenger of Allah was saying, if you keep them consistently and you do them over a period of time, even though it's small, it's going to have a massive impact, have a complete change in your life. Otherwise, the Messenger of Allah said, don't just be that impulsive person who says, I feel like doing it now, I'm just going to go all out when you get tired. It's like that person that goes to the gym and they say, this weekend, exercise 5 hours, and you don't exercise regularly, and then you're done, you're tired and you're sore and you're this. Start slowly, be consistent, even when it comes to acts of worship like Qiyam al-Layl. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among the people of wisdom, the people of righteousness, the people who are consistent in their actions. Ameen. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam.